Hello, I'm continuing my reviews on the Puppet Master series with Puppet Master 5, aka Puppet Master 5 The Final Chapter, because apparently this movie was originally intended to be the final installment of the Puppet Master series, but I'm personally calling bullshit on that because the movie does end like they're going to make another sequel, and of course there were other sequels that followed this. However, none of the sequels that followed this really connected back to this one, except for maybe Puppet Master The Legacy, but we'll get to that when I get to that review. But, Puppet Master 5 picks up right where Puppet Master 4 left off. Now, this movie is directed by Jeff Burr, who also directed Puppet Master 4. He also directed movies like Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings and Leatherface The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So the film, as I said, picks up where Puppet Master 4 left off. Now, in Puppet Master 4, you followed a young man named Rick Myers who discovered Toulon's puppets, and he essentially became the new Puppet Master, and what happens is there was this demon called Sutekh who was sending these little gremlin creatures into our world to kill all those who possess the power to give life to inanimate objects. So what happens is Rick, he uses the puppets to help kill the gremlin creatures, and, what happens is this movie, it picks up right where that left off. So the plot of the movie is it begins where Rick is at a police station and he's being interrogated by this detective who thinks that he killed these people who saw the little creatures kill in the previous film. So what happens is, the police think he did it, but his girlfriend manages to get him off on bail, and what happens is Rick meets this guy who works for the same company that he does, and this guy believes that Rick is innocent, and Rick tells him about the puppets, and this guy, he ends up going to the Bodega Bay Inn with these few other people looking for the puppets, and pretty much it turns out that Sutekh now wants revenge on Rick, and what happens is Sutekh sends another one of these little gremlin creatures into our world, and this little creature goes into the hotel and starts killing off all these people who are looking for the puppets, and pretty much the plot line of the movie is Rick and the puppets now have to stop this little gremlin creature which is possessed by the spirit of Sutekh, and that's the basic plot line of the movie. Now, Puppet Master 5, to be honest, doesn't really do it for me like Puppet Master 4 did. Like, I enjoyed Puppet Master 4 a lot, but this one, doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I don't hate the movie. I do recommend it. It's just, this one to me is just a little dull compared to Puppet Master 4. That's just my opinion. I mean, I know this one is held in pretty high regard by fans of the series, but, I just don't like this one as much as I liked Puppet Master 4. I mean, I still recommend it, and I still enjoyed it for the most part. It's just, I don't know, I just didn't like it as much as the previous film, but I think it's an alright movie, and I would recommend it if you're a fan of this series. So, yeah, that's my review on Puppet Master 5, aka Puppet Master 5 The Final Chapter, even though it wasn't the final chapter, and, bye.